Days before the commemoration of the International Workers' Day, labor unions led by the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) took to the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, the seat of power, to remind the government of one of its responsibilities to the citizenry. The demand is captured in a march for decent jobs, dignity, and social justice in Nigeria. The march is to prompt the government and employers of labor to implement the new minimum wage of 30,000 naira signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari after a series of deliberations over the years and the final one in 2018. Demands also include a call for improved infrastructure across the country for mass job creation.
We call on government to rehabilitate public roads, power supply, railway, inland waterway, schools, and hospitals as enabling infrastructure for mass industrialization and mass jobs. We call on all employers of labor to quickly commence the implementation of the new national minimum wage of 30,000 naira. The Nigeria Labour Movement will keep a hawk's eye on all employers of labor, especially state government, to ensure total compliance on the implementation of the new national minimum wage. In similar vein, organized labor will continue to step up campaign to ensure that our workplaces are rid of anti-workers policies and practice.
The labor union berates the state of the nation's public schools and healthcare institutions, vowing to continue its campaigns against anti-workers policies and practices.
Whatever the government does, now is the time to create mass decent job for our teeming youth. My job without decent remuneration would be counterproductive. We call on all employers of labor to quickly commence the implementation of the new national minimum wage of 30,000 naira. The Nigerian Labour Movement will keep a hawk's eye on all employers of labor, especially state government, to ensure total compliance on the implementation of the new national minimum wage. In similar vein, organized labor will continue to step up campaign to ensure that our workplaces are rid of anti-workers policies and practice. In line with the theme of this year May Day, will be squaring up against unemployers of labor who deploy casualization, outsourcing, and anti-unionization policies to dehumanize workers and rob them of their voice and rights. We will dare you, we will win you. We wish Nigerian workers, students, market women, professionals, our allies in the civil society movement and the global working class a very memorable, peaceful 2019 May Day celebration. Aluta continua Victoria Asata.
The union insists in tough tones and in clear terms, we will dare you, we will win.
These are things that we will continue to canvass. We call on all workers, even those who are holed up behind the offices now, to come out and celebrate the workers' achievements and also canvass for policies going forward that will benefit workers. Forward ever, backward never. Forward ever, backward never.
It's the D-Day for workers whose living wage is tied to the apron of the government of the day. Perhaps, in some parts of the country, the commemoration of the day gives a sense of belonging, while in others, it is hope for better days. Days when they will work and receive their earnings as at when due. It's a low-key celebration in Kogi State, north-central region of the country.
The reality is that when they were carrying out the screening exercise, and I want to put it very clear, the categories of indebtedness of this administration to workers. When the salary exercise, when the screening exercise was being carried out, the screening committee was clearing people. Others who were cleared and were earning their salaries by today fall into the category of just 7 months. Meaning the government is owing 7 months to those category of persons. Why those who were cleared after 4 months of the screening, after 5 months of the screening, after 12 months of the screening, after 13 months of the screening, after 20 months of the screening, depending on when you were cleared into service, were being owed arrears because the money was not kept in any suspect account anywhere. And I call on the government that if the needful has to be done and the workers of Kogi State will be satisfied with this government and begin to drop the issue and drumming of salary arrears behind us, then those who were responsible for screening us out of job and bringing us back to job and allowing us to be owed salaries should be fired by this government out of job.
Workers say they are owed many months of salaries in the old minimum wage of 18,000 naira.
We have not been paid. I will explain, because there are state workers who were cleared and had been receiving 100% salary till November last year, 2018. There are those that are cleared, they are not receiving anything, ranging from 38 months, no salary, some 30, some 28, no salary. I know a friend who was forced to retrieve his son from the university, 400 level. He couldn't even feed the family. People are dying. That is first category. Second category are those who are cleared, no money. Another category are those who are not even cleared, but they are working. They had no cause not to be cleared. The government had come to realize that they are genuine. That was why the government sent to our office that we should bring their bank statement details from 2014 to 16. It means government had realized that they are sorry for punishing these people. And as they count in the office yesterday, more than 200 people had submitted this bank statement. It means they have not been paid for 38 months.
The government confirms the salary debt, but insists it is owing lesser than alleged.
There were people in the civil service who got onto the civil service as employable people at ages that you will refer to as minors. Can a 15, 14-year-old person be a civil servant in this country? They got in because they had privileged relations who were also in vantage positions in government. What His Excellency did was the right thing to do for the states. It may not be politically wise to have done it, but His Excellency is a leader that does not think of just the next election, but the next generation. And he had the boldness, courage to do that surgery. And Kogi is better for it today. So at no point in time did I apologize because government owed 38 months. Because government is not owing 38 months. That's a distorted lie, a very fat one at that. To my understanding, it's 4 months max for genuine civil servants who didn't have a delayed get back onto the payroll.
Niger is also in the north-central region of Nigeria. Civil servants here have had their bad times in salary debt saga, but have now found light at the end of the dark tunnel of earning a living. One more hurdle to cross, and they use the occasion of the Workers' Day to to demand the immediate refund of their 2-month salaries slashed by the state government.
I want to use this media to appeal to Mr. Governor to quickly get into the action to ensure that this unconscionable and unjustifiable cut of workers' salary is corrected and stopped henceforth. Mr. Governor, despite the despite the commendable strides enumerated above, there are numerous lingering issues requiring your intervention. This includes but not limited to: 1. Promotions, implementation of promotion and annual step increment for both states and local government workers. 2. Despite the unambiguousness of the Niger State Scheme of Service in its inclusion of employees of the local government areas in both policies of grade level 17 and that of domestic servant allowance for workers on grade levels 15 to 17, neither of these is implemented for local government workers. Sir, for your notice, neither this domestic allowance is being implemented at the local government level.
To be able to maintain the minimum wage, we must be sincere to ourselves, and we must save from certain places. We must cut unnecessary spending, and we must change our style and ways of life. So please, the most disturbing issue in this matter, I know some, we cut some. Maybe some of them even listen to me. On your own. Please, on your own. And like I said, this is special day, this is amnesty. I swear to God, if you go on your own and you stop, you correct this thing, even if they bring your name, we'll forgive you. But if you're caught, be ready to face the law. And like I said, we set in place a special team, and they are working. Some of this information I'm giving you is from the team. How can one person collect 12 people's salary? How? And you go and sleep. Or you go and collect a dead man's gratuity and you go and sleep. How? How?
What echoes loudly during the commemoration of this year's Workers' Day in Nigeria is the issue of the approved payment of the new minimum wage of 30,000 naira.
The first thing that they are expecting is the implementation of minimum wage, which is very, very important. And also the issue of training and retraining, the issue of promotion. We shall give everything this very, very important aspect. We shall give it priority.
I was the first governor in this country to set up a committee to review and advise on the implementation of the minimum wage that has just been signed to law. I want to assure you, all the Akwa state governments we will implement the new minimum wage bill, which was recently signed into law by the president after you have done all your own side of necessary documentation. Please ensure you document properly, because the problem is always with documentation. Those you hear shouting most are those who don't even bother to fill common forms. Document properly, the ball is now in your court. We remain passionately committed the welfare of our workers to the full extent of our resources available. I promise to always give and keep a listening ear to your issues and concerns, and together the peace we have enjoyed all round will continue to flourish and abound in our state. Akwa Ibom is rising.
While some governors promised the implementation outright, some would like more time to plan the modalities of effecting the payment.
I'm very, very sure that by the time this thing is being implemented at the federal level, even the state government, the governor will look into it vis-a-vis with what we have in the state, and I'm quite sure that something will be done positively.
A That 12,000 naira wage increase, that is a 67% pay increase, may have come to reality, but the workers demand more, like Oliver Twist. They want to see improved infrastructural development across states of the Federation in all sectors: education, health, electricity supply, among others, where jobs can be easily provided. Nigeria is currently running on infrastructural deficit, according to records. In southern states, the demands are not different. Some civil servants in Abia State, especially the MDAs, are owed from 1 month to about 24 months.
If you motivate your workers, you encourage them to do more. And I believe since he's a civil servant like us, and he's been in our shoe, knowing what is our needs right from time, and he's been trying. And I know by the grace of God, he will do more than this.
The Nigerian civil service workforce is about 55% of Nigeria's population. According to the Convention 144 of the International Labour Organization, trade unions must be at the forefront of institutionalizing social dialogue.
The impact of the prevailing hyperinflation on our pensioners and workers is better imagined than experienced. No one wants to accept blame for the failure of the privatization of the power sector scheme. There is no doubt that the power sector privatization failed because incompetent investors were actually engaged. It is sad that Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission appears soft on operators and hard on consumers. We call on the federal government, now that the tenure of the discourse is due for renewal, to review the entire privatization exercise and come up with the best approach to deal with this challenge that have defied all solutions.
Past leaders of the labor union insist on putting an end to casualization of workers and outsourcing of services. Labor leaders in Nigeria have been at loggerheads with government since independence. They agree that the continuous struggle for better welfare for workers is worth it.
We brought respectability to the trade union movement. We were the first to employ graduates and postgraduates, into the trade union movement. Even the minimum wage we won in 1981, the employers were not on the negotiating table like they were, in this particular instance.
Minimum wage in 80s is much more valuable than 30,000 naira of today. So worker situation is getting from bad to worse by the passage of each year.
In Cross River State, South Nigeria, workers protest the payment of May's salary on the first day of the month, when April's salary was paid only a week before. They commend the Ben Ayade-led government for prompt payment of their salaries, but want it to be as at when due, to enable judicious spending.
It has been the tradition of the governor since inception to pay workers on 1st May. But to me, I discourage that. From administration, I have to talk to His Excellency to stop paying salary in 1st May. That is not, it is not better for the workers. So you should stop paying salaries in 1st May. I didn't like it, and I'm sure my workers too will not like to receive salary in 1st May.
The state government is, however, quick to defend its stance on the early payment of the May salary.
Well, I have been fortunate enough to hear some of their complaints, but it's important to realize that money has a time value. Some people are saying the money comes too early, and so they may utilize it before the end of the month. But what His Excellency is actually trying to preach to them is the art of saving. He's trying to teach them the art of forced saving. So if you get your money before the end of the month, which is like a gift to you, there is the time value of money, so you can put it into some savings and some interest. If anyone should complain, it should be the Treasury and it should be the government, because they are having to pay before it is due. But we have said you have worked 1 year, you have come to work on time, you have added value to the state government and to the civil service, and this is our gift to you. So if we give it to you 30 days in advance, you can put it into something that bears interest, you earn the interest at the detriment of the state government, but we are giving that to a gift because we understand that times are hard. We understand the time value of money, and we understand that the prices of goods and services are appreciating on a daily basis. That is His Excellency's intention.
According to the 2006 National Census figures, Akwa Ibom State, also in the South-South, has a population of 3,902,051 people. But that figure is believed to have doubled in 2018. Out of this number, at least 55,000 are civil servants. These 55 families in the state rely on monthly salaries received from the state government.
His Excellency a week ago has swung into action by constituting the members of the new minimum wage negotiating committee. The committee is going to go into action immediately after this Workers' Day. It's an indication that in the whole nation, I'm not aware of any state of the federation where the committee on the national minimum wage implementation of any state has been constituted. Akwa Ibom State is ready, His Excellency is ready, and we the workers are ready, knowing that we are going to be the first state to enjoy the new national minimum wage.
The payment of pensions and gratuities has been a source of misunderstanding between the state government and the organized labor in the state.
A lot of people look at pensions and gratuity as the same thing, but they are not. Akwa Ibom State government is on record that we are paid pensions, which is monthly allowance paid to retirees. Every month we are paid pensions to all categories of workers up to date. But we are having issues with gratuity. Gratuity is that bulk sum that is paid to workers on retirement. This government inherited a huge liability on the issue of gratuity. And what the government has done is to look at the entire backlog. And government has batched all these retirees. For instance, if you retire in 2016, a date will be kept and it will be made known to every retiree that on so and so date your gratuity is going to be paid. We started from 2013, 2014, 2015. Right now, I think we are about 2015, 2016.
Pensioners in Imo State, southeast Nigeria, are also at the mercy of the government, even as apprehensive workers ask the governor to pay the 2-month arrears of civil servant salaries.
So it's 2 months now. When you add March, but the majority of March have not been paid, and then April, which ended yesterday. Just call it 2 months now. But when you now put orders, for instance, Adapam is owed over 54 months unpaid salaries. Due process is owed 10 months. Imo Saka is owed around 27 months unpaid salaries. Judiciary's workers of Nigeria, Jusun, the workers in the state judiciary are owed 3 months. So it's staggered. You can't say it is 1 month, you can't say it 2 months. And the civil service now are owed 2 months because March have not ordered fully be paid. So we say they're being owed March and April.
In the southwestern state of Ondo, workers say the current administration is not in salary debt, but should pay up the balance of 1 month out of 7 months' debt left by the previous administration.
This is in session. He has never owed us a dime, except the salary arrears, just 1 month salary arrears that the past administration did not pay. So he has been doing well. And in respect of minimum wage, we know he will do well. In fact, he's one of the first government, one of our first governors to set the pace that yes, he's ready to comply with the implementation of a 30,000 minimum wage.
30,000 naira is not enough. It's not enough to cater for the family. For instance, I have a family of 2. My children are going to school, and I'm earning 30,000 as minimum wage. So how does it help the family? I think 200,000 should be. At least let us start from 200,000. We have the senators who are earning more than those who are in productive. When we boost business, economy will also grow. We will grow. I'm pleading with the government. They should please. Today is Workers' Day. They should put smiles on our faces.
It is not clear when the Nigerian worker will begin to earn the new minimum wage of 30,000 naira. Perhaps the coming days will determine this.